Hello all. As some of you may notice, I'm trying something a bit different with my videos. Firstly, I got my ugly fucking mug off the screen. I'm sure you're all happy about that. And I think this new graphic that I so proudly pushed my artistic abilities to their absolute limit to produce quite accurately portrays the shit quality and generally unappealing nature of my content. So this is what I'm going to be going with, at least for now, or at least until I figure something else out. So with that, let's turn our eyes to Sweden, because they've done something absolutely brilliant. So, Swedish police have launched this new tactic which they think may help them with their serious sexual assault problem. And their answer? Fucking wristbands. A recent Swedish press release warns that groping is a crime. No fucking duh. In it, the country's national police chief, Dan Eliasson, I think I butchered that, said no one should have to accept sexual molestation. I agree. So do not grope. And if you are groped, report it to the police. Yeah, that sounds like reasonably good advice. Mr. Eliasson, I'm probably going to be butchering all of the Swedish names that are in this article, by the way, just because... yeah, I'm going to try my best, but I'm probably going to fuck it up royal. Mr. Eliasson mentioned a variety of actions, such as a hand tucked between the legs, a hug from behind in the crush at a club or festival, and one person holding somebody while another grabs their breasts, describing them as situations many young people recognize too well. Stop dropping shit, you dumb fuck. Yeah. Well, you know, it may be a serious sign as to the state of your country when such gross acts of sexual assault are situations many young people recognize too well, right? The press release announced that police intend to equip young women with wristbands with the slogan, "Don't touch me." This will happen over the summer at festivals and other events for young people. By wearing these wristbands, Sweden's police chief said young women will be able to make a stand. Now keep in mind this article was published, I think 4 days ago, June 30th. So this has now been instituted. This is a current thing that is now going on in Sweden. The festivals that are happening this weekend, wristbands were handed out at them. It is unclear how effective the wristbands, which read "Don't touch me" in Swedish, will be in preventing attacks, as the majority of sex attack perpetrators are thought to be recent migrants who are unlikely to be able to read them. It's a very good point. Mr. Eliasson has suggested that by wearing these accessories, women would also be able to draw attention to the issue of sexual assault and urge those affected to report. Yeah, well, something tells me that even if they report them, nothing's going to get done, right? That's probably what's going to happen, right? That's my prediction. A Swedish police report released last month noted that the country had the worst rates of sexual violence against women in Europe. The report acknowledged migrants were responsible for the bulk of the problem, but the police were accused of making excuses for the perpetrators. And there you have it. Police were accused of making excuses for the perpetrators. So part of the purpose of these wristbands is to promote the victims of these sexual assaults to report it to police, so that the police can then suppress those reports and defend and make excuses for these migrant rape-fugees. Although sexual harassment and assault are commonplace in many Muslim countries, that's true, The report blamed Nordic alcohol culture and masculinity for the wave of assaults that have terrorized Swedish women. So yeah, even though this type of behavior is perfectly allowed in the majority of Muslim countries, the Muslims doing that in Sweden are doing it because, masculinity, it's men's fault. It's the men's fault. It's because they're men. It's not because they're Muslim, it's because they're men and all men are evil. And Nordic alcohol culture. Talk about victim blaming. It's the Nordic culture why these Swedish women are being molested by Muslim men. Yes, it's all because of the Nordic alcohol culture. Migrant sex gangs are alleged to have been roaming the Sitholm, I know I pronounced that wrong, music festival for 12 to 17-year-olds for the past 2 summers. So this has been going on for years now. One leaked police memo indicated that unaccompanied youth migrants from the Middle East were responsible for most of the attacks. So they know that this is the problem. Sexual assaults were reported at Swedish music festivals Arvika in 2006 and 2010, Emma Boda in 2014, and Bravalla in 2015. I know I fucked all 3 of those up. Police were accused of covering up the attacks. Well, so we have 2 major trends going in Sweden right now. Trend 1, young Swedish women and girls are being sexually molested by young Muslim migrants. And the second trend is that the police are covering it up and making excuses for the perpetrators. Breitbart London reported that Stockholm Council and festival organizers in the country knew sex attacks by migrants were endangering women, but thought it would have been irresponsible to speak out about the trend. Isn't that just amazing? So, let's see, now a few days later, how that wristband policy has been doing. Migrant gangs sexually assault children as young as 12 at festival. And this was published, just today. A gang of 7 to 8 men have been preying on young girls to carry out 23 sex attacks this weekend. Victims at the Pute Festival, I know I pronounced that wrong again, like I said, it's gonna happen, in Karlstad this weekend, said they were surrounded and then the gang started to grope them. Police officer Per Arne Eriksson said that a group of 7 to 8 young guys surround them. They groped their bottoms and breasts and forced their hands inside their clothes. Mr. Eriksson added the 2 suspects belonged to the group of unaccompanied refugee children. They were released because of their young age and sent back to their accommodation. They are under 18 years old. So they were sent home without even a slap on the wrist. Nothing happened to these young molesters. On Saturday morning, police had received 16 complaints of sex crimes, and by Sunday they had received another 7, making it a total of 23 reported incidents at the Free Music Festival. However, officials say they expect the number to rise after the festival finishes, so they're expecting even more of it. Police increased their presence at the festival on Saturday evening after they received the first reports. However, it did not appear to have halted the assaults. Well, maybe because the police really aren't doing anything but apologizing to the rapists. Festival organizer Nicholas Lagerstam wrote on Facebook, "We at Pute however the fuck you pronounce it, feel deeply for those who had their festival experience ruined because of sexual assaults. No, he doesn't feel sorry because they were sexually assaulted. He feels sorry that the fact they were sexually assaulted ruined their festival experience. So we can obviously see where the organizers' priorities lie. Together with the police, stewards, our security forces, and others, we work hard to make sure Putin is as safe and secure place as possible. Well, bravo! Bravo, you fucking twat! You failed miserably. The sex attacks come after it was revealed Swedish police had covered up a series of assaults at We Are Syphilum, fuck that word, festival last year. Girls as young as 11 years old had been groped and molested by a gang of migrant youths at the Stockholm music gig. 11 years old. That's just 3 years older than my daughter. How is this okay, Sweden? How are you allowing this? How in the fuck can you tell yourselves that it's okay to let this happen? Because if we speak out against the people doing it, oh no, we might be seen as racists. So, these brown people get a get out of jail free card. They are absolved of any wrongdoing because they are brown. At the time, Swedish police apologized and promised to launch an investigation. An outcome of the revelation was an initiative for girls to wear bands with the police's logo saying, "Don't grope." But the initiative was blasted on social media. Oh, I wonder why. Maybe because it was a dumb fucking idea and it should have never been implemented because you should have had the common fucking sense to realize that it was a pointless endeavor and wouldn't do shit to stop the problem. One Twitter user wrote, "So if I lose my band, it's okay to grope?" Apparently that is what... I fucked that up. Apparently that is what the Swedish police believe. You should be wearing your wristband so that the migrants know not to grope you. Yeah, that's fucking hell. Feminists in America talk about victim blaming and how it's evidence of rape culture in America. No, I'm sorry. This is victim blaming. This is fucking rape culture. And it is being brought to the Western world, by Muslim migrants. Established facts. You cannot argue those. Okay? So trying to blame it on simple masculinity, to blame it on Nordic alcohol culture, to blame it on anything except for the young fucking demons, the young vile little shits that have been molesting girls as young as 11. To not blame them, you might as well fucking kill yourself. Because you're lost forever. If you can honestly rationalize it in your mind that it is okay for you to excuse these sexual assaulters for their acts simply because they are a different skin color than you, if that gives them the privilege to commit sexual crimes, then fucking end yourself. Just like I'm going to be ending this video because it's running longer than I wanted it to anyways. So, if you enjoyed it, give a like. Subscribe to the channel. Fuck, even if you didn't enjoy it, subscribe to the channel. You're a twat if you don't. You can also follow me on Twitter at Tartan Sandpaper. Other than that, I guess it's fuck off till next time, you cunts.